Hey everyone, it's Mallory here with All About Cats, and in this week's video we're taking a look at pet insurance. So, it's a big topic and it can be kind of tricky, but I've tried to break things down by talking about what pet insurance is and how it works, whether or not it's going to be a good option, and then going into my top 6 recommendations for some of the best options you can buy. So I hope that this video can help to demystify pet insurance a little bit and help you to choose a provider that works for you. So pet insurance is health insurance for your pet. It works differently from human health insurance, so you're going to get a reimbursement on your vet bill. This is typically going to range from 70 to 100% of the bill, and you're typically going to have between a 2-day and 2-week waiting period before that reimbursement comes in. So you are going to have to end up paying your veterinarian right away, in most cases. Another thing to remember when you're getting pet insurance is that pre-existing conditions are almost never covered. I haven't seen a single pet insurance provider that will cover pre-existing conditions, so that's something to consider. If you do have a cat who has pre-existing conditions, there are some options for you, and I'll be talking about that towards the end of the video. Pet insurance can help you out a lot with big vet bills. So something that can happen as easily as swallowing some string can cost $3,000 at the vet. And then more complex and difficult to treat issues like diabetes or cancer could add up to tens of thousands of dollars. And pet insurance can really help out with these expenses. I found that it doesn't really seem to pay off that much with routine exams and what would be considered wellness care, but it does really help out with those big catastrophic expenses. Pet insurance isn't going to be the right option for everyone. In some cases, it's just not going to be a good investment, and it might be better to open up a dedicated savings account or use some form of pet insurance alternative. If you do choose to go for pet insurance, choosing the right provider can be tricky as well. So I've spent quite a bit of time researching pet insurance providers, reading through their websites, reading policies, getting quotes, and reading a lot of customer reviews in order to get a feel for how customers feel about each of these providers. In the end, I put together a list of about a dozen insurance providers. You can read reviews of all of them in the written version of this review, linked in the description and in the cards. And then I narrowed it down further to these top 6 recommendations. So all of the recommendations here are a little bit different from one another, but they all score well in some of the areas that I consider to be the most important. So I was prioritizing companies that seem to do a good job of delivering a good customer experience. I was looking for providers that offer affordable coverage. And finally, I was thinking about breadth of coverage. You want to have a provider that covers a nice wide range of services that you might get from your veterinarian. So with that in mind, let's jump into my top 6 recommendations. So my first recommendation is Lemonade. So Lemonade is a pretty new addition to the pet insurance marketplace. You might be familiar with their renter's insurance, which is also relatively new. Being such a new pet insurance provider comes with some drawbacks, one of which is a really big one, and that is that it's not available in all 50 states. Definitely going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. While they are relatively new, Lemonade seems to have established a pretty good reputation. An independent financial analyst gave them an A grade in terms of financial stability. And from the customer reviews that I've read, things generally seem to work out pretty well for customers. When I went in to get a quote for my example cat, Zappa Beeple Rocks, who is a 1-year-old domestic short hair living in Indianapolis, I was offered an $11 monthly premium, or $120 if I paid for it annually. And that monthly premium was based on their standard arrangement, which involves an 80% reimbursement rate, a $250 annual deductible, and a $20,000 annual payout cap. Overall, it looks like Lemonade is offering a pretty good accident and illness plan at a very affordable rate. In my mind, the biggest gap in their basic plan compared to some of the other providers here is that it doesn't cover exam fees, but for a few extra dollars a month, you can add on extended coverage, which will include those exam fees, and it'll still be pretty affordable compared to the competition. So if you live in one of the states where Lemonade is available and don't have any intention of moving to one of the states where it isn't, and you're interested in the pretty standard accident and illness plan available at a pretty low monthly premium, then I would consider Lemonade. But again, Lemonade is really new and its availability is limited. So if you're interested in trying something more well established, I would go for Embrace. Embrace has been around since 2003. It's one of the oldest pet insurance companies out there, and they have a pretty good reputation. So Embrace offers a pretty nice accident and illness plan, and you can also opt into their wellness rewards. So you're going to have to decide whether or not that's going to be worth it for you. One nice benefit of going with Embrace is that they have a vanishing deductible. So every year that you go without filing a claim, they're going to reduce your deductible by $50. So this is a nice little reward that you're not seeing with a lot of other pet insurance providers. Like Lemonade and most of the other recommendations here, you have a fair amount of flexibility in what you're paying and what they're paying. So I was quoted a $23.44 monthly premium with a 90% reimbursement percentage, a $15,000 annual limit, and a $200 annual deductible. So bumping that deductible up is going to allow me to lower that monthly premium. Overall, Embrace seems to be a relatively affordable insurance provider that offers pretty flexible plans. It has a good reputation and seems to have good financial stability. So it seems to be a nice, trustworthy option. Our next recommendation is another relatively new entrant to the pet insurance marketplace. Pumpkin is recommended as the easiest pet insurance to use. So at the sacrifice of some flexibility, Pumpkin gives you an unusually easy sign-up process, a nice comprehensive plan, and generally lets you hopefully think a little bit less about your cat's insurance. Their plan covers some of the things that are excluded in some of the other accident and illness plans reviewed here, including really important things like vet exam fees. But again, Pumpkin's simplicity comes at the expense of a lot of flexibility. So they're making a lot of the decisions for you. You're not able to control that much in terms of your maximum annual payouts or obviously your reimbursement rate, because it's always going to be 90%. And overall, this can add to a little bit of a higher monthly premium. I was quoted $25.94 with a $250 deductible and a pretty low $7,000 annual payout limit. I was able to get my monthly premium a little bit lower, down to $19.96 by raising that deductible to $500. It's still a little bit more expensive than some of the other providers here, but bear in mind that this is a nice comprehensive plan that covers pretty much everything that you're going to need. So overall, if you're looking for a nice experience with comprehensive coverage and you're not all that worried about tweaking your price, then I would consider Pumpkin. My next recommendation is labeled as offering the best web or mobile experience, and it is Figo. So Figo offers a pretty good accident and illness plan with a number of different add-ons so that you can beef up your coverage a little bit. So they offer a veterinary exam fees add-on and then a couple of other packages intended to cover some of those preventive care expenses, as well as some additional therapies that wouldn't come in a typical plan. While their accident and illness plan is pretty basic, they also offer the Pet Cloud. So this is an app that gives you a few things that you're not getting with other pet insurance providers. Perhaps the biggest one is live vet service, so you're able to communicate directly with veterinarians through this app, and then you're also able to keep track of your cat's medical history. Overall, it seems like a very user-friendly service that makes it very easy to manage your pet's healthcare. So I was quoted $18.82 per month with a $250 deductible, 80% reimbursement rate, and a $10,000 annual maximum. You can also adjust your annual maximum quite a bit, going all the way up to an unlimited annual cap. So overall, based on customer reviews and what I've seen of this pet insurance provider, it seems that they're offering a pretty good customer experience. I have seen some complaints about rates going up, and we know that this is a relatively new pet insurance provider, so there is the possibility that things are not going to really remain the same over time, but for now it seems to be a really nice user-friendly option. My next recommendation is what is labeled as the most comprehensive pet insurance, and it is Petplan. So Petplan is one of the older pet insurance companies, and it's established a pretty good reputation. And the place where it stands out the most is, as you can guess, its comprehensive coverage. So they only offer one plan, and it offers a very wide range of services, including some that you wouldn't typically see in a pet insurance plan. So you're getting coverage for dental care, you're getting coverage for exam fees, which you aren't seeing in most policies, and you're also going to get coverage for things like holistic care and other things that are not covered by most pet insurance providers. I was quoted $20.16 per month with a $500 annual deductible, 80% reimbursement rate, and $15,000 annual payout limit. Interestingly, this is about as low as it goes for Petplan. You aren't going to see anything cheaper than $20.16 per month. So it's certainly not the cheapest insurance, but considering that it's that comprehensive coverage, it seems like it could be a pretty good option. So my last recommendation is not pet insurance. It's a pet insurance alternative. I've been aware of Pawp for a while, and they have a pretty interesting model that can satisfy some of the needs that are not covered by pet insurance. So while, again, it's not a replacement for pet insurance, and it certainly doesn't do everything that pet insurance does, it definitely fills some gaps. So Pawp costs $19 per month. You can put up to 6 pets on your Pawp plan. And then in exchange for that $19 per month, regardless of where you live or how much vet bills cost in your area, you're going to receive 2 things. One is 24/7 access to a digital health clinic, which means that you can easily contact a veterinarian, ask them about anything from behavioral issues to more serious health conditions. And then you're also given a $3,000 emergency fund. There are some limitations on this emergency fund, so it's only applicable to 1 vet bill in the year, and you can only use it for 1 pet. So you can have up to 6 pets on the plan, but again, it's just 1 vet bill. The other thing is that you're not going to be credited back the difference if your vet bill costs less than $3,000. So whether your bill costs $800 or $8,000, you're still just getting that $3,000 fund for the year. So again, this isn't going to be a complete replacement for traditional insurance, but I think that it can be a great option for certain people. So if you live in an area where the cost of pet insurance is prohibitive and you want something for $19 a month that can cover potentially all of your pets, this can be a good option. It's also a good option if you can't get access to veterinary care in your area on a regular basis. This allows you to get more care for your cat from the comfort of your home. And so potentially you could improve the quality of your cat's health care by having this constant access to a remote veterinarian. It can also be a good option if for whatever reason your cat is not eligible for traditional insurance. This could be the case if you have a certain breed, maybe a cat mixed with a certain type of non-domesticated or exotic cat, or your cat has pre-existing conditions and you want coverage for issues related to that pre-existing condition. As an alternative to insurance, Pawp can give you some really good peace of mind. So I've been recommending Pawp for a while. It's been on our list of the best pet insurance on the All About Cats website for a while, and I recently partnered with Pawp to offer our subscribers and viewers a special discount. So if you're interested in trying out Pawp, you can get 20% off of your first month by entering the coupon code AllAboutCats20. So that's it for my list of the top 6 best pet insurance options available for cats. I would recommend that you get your own quotes on all of these providers. Factors like your cat's age, their breed, any health conditions, as well as your location, of course, are all going to influence your monthly premium. So you're going to want to take all of those individual factors into consideration when you're choosing a pet insurance. Your rates could certainly be significantly different from those that I showed here. When choosing the right pet insurance and the right plan for your cat, you're going to want to think about a few things. The first that I would consider is what kind of coverage do you want? Are you interested in sticking to an accident and illness policy, or are you willing to spend maybe an extra $100 a year for wellness coverage? If you're taking your cat into the veterinarian on a regular basis, getting flea and tick medications, things like that, then opting into a wellness plan might be worth it for you. For a lot of cats, that just isn't going to be worth it. Another thing to think about is, are you interested in paying less in a monthly premium and more when you go to the vet? Or would you prefer to pay less when you go to the vet and pay a higher monthly premium over time? Of course, there's still a lot more to learn about pet insurance. If you'd like to get more information, I would recommend that you read our article on the best pet insurance of 2021. I'll put a link to that in the description as well as in the cards. This article goes into detail on all of the providers mentioned here, as well as a few other ones that are worth considering. You're also going to learn more about the details of pet insurance, how it works, and how to choose a good provider that works for you. Again, I'll also put links to all of the pet insurance providers mentioned here so that you can go ahead and get a quote, figure out if it's going to work for you. And I'll also put that All About Cats 20 coupon code so that you can get a discount on Pawp if you're interested. So thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments. Let me know if your cat is on pet insurance, which provider you've chosen, how it's worked out for you. And also feel free to ask any questions and discuss everything with the community. If you're interested in more buyer's guides, product reviews, and information on all things cats, of course, please subscribe to the All About Cats channel. We put out new videos at least once a week, so there's always something to look forward to if you're interested in more cat information. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.